According to my weather app, it's not supposed to peak till like maybe 11.
That's what I was thinking, I was like,
Well,
where did they find the state mouse tonight?
Or if you got something you can follow along with,
Had the dads when it really starts coming down.
but I will gladly give you a copy.
I'm gonna look here again on Friday. According to this, peak is,
3 o'clock.
you know, we could get a little rain, they saying now in
That's what I'm
this.
hearing, rain and ice worries more than anything, just for power lines.
They got a high of around 35 or so that could, that higher temp could be good, but.
Wintry mix, is that what they call it?
Yeah, it starts out as snow, then it gets rain, then turns back into snow, is what they got now. Peak is about 12:30.
I remember being snowed.
They've got it, on this app, it's starting about 6 o'clock
Okay.
and ending about 5 or 6 p.m.
All right, we ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, I call the meeting of the Manchester Water and Sewer Commission December the 5th to order. First order of business, citizens' comments. Anybody want to speak? Sarah?
Oh, we need to take roll.
We need to take
We
roll.
don't want to call the roll?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Mayor Hobbs? Chairman Commissioner Anderson?
here,
Nelson Watson?
here,
Secretary Commissioner Hunt?
here.
Commissioner Heisman?
Here.
Alderwoman Anderson? Here. Director Perry?
Here.
And Billing Officer Jennifer Hall.
We have a quorum. All right, everybody got a copy of the previous minutes or any additions, corrections, or additions? Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our December 5th meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. There you go. All right, Mayor?
So, just a couple things, and I don't know if I seen one here, Jeff, and if I cover something, tell me to stop, and you can have it back, okay? We just got a permit back today, for the Skinner Flat to Willis Basin, so that permit came back today. We'll put it out for bid and hopefully get it to Boma, I think in March, April, so that we can award somebody that project. At the last BOMA meeting Tuesday night, we did award the root company, Duke's Root Company, a project for roughly right at $1.5 million. And what that's gonna do is they're gonna do area 1 and 2. I don't have a map to put up, but it's basically half of the footage of our sewer system, which is about 300,000 feet. We're going to run cameras down it. There'll be a light cleaning in some areas if there's debris. But that's so that we can actually start building plans of what to fix is our problem. Then we just, Norris Brothers are doing a kickoff with them guys here toward the end of the month on another big project that's $2.2 million. So the long-winded part here is I think we've spent all $6 million of your ARP money and about 3 new projects that kick off here in the next 90 days, which is all good news. The other part of that too is we sent a letter into the state. There are cities and towns and counties that actually don't want their ARP money, that are returning it by the end of the year. So we put Manchester on the list to hopefully get awarded some more money as they do it. The good news is we have projects that have been completed that would qualify for the money, and we could spend that money on new projects. But they want the paperwork, and they want to be able to have something that nobody turns money back in. So we wouldn't be able to develop a new project, per se, but we would be doing new work, just repaying ourselves for projects that we've done. Jeff and I have gone over lots of things. I haven't been here in a couple meetings, but the gist of the thing is we'll give some kudos, of course, to Director Perry and his team. Them guys have accomplished a lot in a short period of time. And just so you know, I think you announced at the meeting the other night, and you may go through it somewhere in here, the city of Manchester has actually counted about 16,000 feet of sewer for ourselves to either try to find a problem and then fix. I think you said 5 projects have come from that. So I think it's important that we have that conversation in here for everybody to understand where I think we are in my short period of time and Jeff's short period of time on our system, right? You know, we have a system that is always going to need to be serviced. This is an ongoing thing. We're not going to fix all our problems in anybody's time, either on this commission or on earth, okay? And I don't mean that bad, but it's because it's always something that's going to come up, okay?
Absolutely.
The takeaway needs to be that average daily treated gallons is roughly 1.5 to 1.6 million gallons a day. Dry season, no rain, okay? So you have a release limit of 4.3 million gallons a day. So you have no capacity problem, all right? Normal weather. When it rains, you'll see flow into the plant from 3 million up to 4 million gallons, right? So that just should explain to everybody who sits and listens to any of this, sewer is not the issue. It's our lines. We're letting too much water in through storm activity. That's what we're trying to attack. That's what we're working on. So the belief about capacities and those things are just fundamentally wrong, okay? That's what I've learned in 5 minutes. Yes, we have a lot to fix. I'm not making light of any of that. We have things at the plant that you guys have toured and seen yourself to where we have just, over time, let preventive maintenance go. We're back on a good track there. And again, kudos to Jeff and his group. He's assembled a good team, okay? So it's not bleak. The world's not ending. We can take on more sewer in Manchester, but we got to be smart about it, and we are spending resources on a monthly basis, either internally or externally, to truly understand the extent of what our problem is, okay? The 300,000 feet, which is half the system, will be huge. It's about a 8-month project, I think is what we were talking about. And then we'll be able to come back with real data and say, look, this part of what we've done, this is where we need to start building projects and what we got to tackle, internally, externally. And then hopefully we can come across some money and some things to do the rest of the system into the year, first of next year. And then within a 12-month period, you've had a whole look at your system to build an honest plan, okay? The other thing that I want to give a little kudos to, right, is we've changed some billing. Jennifer's group, we just got some new approvals. We're down to 15 days now, I think is what the latest was. When I started, we were at 45, then we went to 30, now we're at 15. And I think that although the time seems to be bad that it's shrinking, I think it gives people opportunity not to get so far out of whack that when we come out there, they can't afford it because it's gone on so long. So all that to me is good. The billing cycle will change to a one-cycle thing, which is internally good for the teams here. The other thing that I'm particularly pleased with is we've started reorganizing the department in such a manner that growth and the ability to add work and work crews will have a vision of how we're going to manage those things. So there again, as we continue to you got a couple things there inside the department. You have the the folks that treat the water, right? And we have folks that work on lines and different things, but we're starting to recognize all those things and put them in such a manner that Jeff will be able to manage them a little easier. Fair statement? Yes, sir. So, yeah, that's really all I got, right? I'm happy with what we're doing. I think that we're coming along very well. Oh, and did you mention anything about the EPA?
No.
Okay. So we had an EPA audit. Those guys don't tell you when they're coming, which, look, that's good. That's the only way you get better, right? That's true honesty. I don't remember the date. It's been a couple of months now.
November 19th, I believe, was.
We had some folks come in, EPA came in, they let TDEC know. TDEC came in, they did a review of,
The wastewater treatment system, the wastewater collection system. We went through the entire plant and visited several of our lift stations, looking for any improvements that we could make or any issues that they might have noticed. The report was fair and they gave us good recommendations.
so we'll get everybody a copy of the report. Probably should have done that today, that's my fault for not getting it on there, but we'll get everybody a copy. And as Austin said, there was no major issues. They were maintenance issues. We've met. By the time we all meet again, we'll have you the report with what we came up with as timelines and all those things to fix and address the 3 or 4 items that I think came out of it, okay? So, yeah, nothing negative really to report. We did have 2 manholes in this last rain event.
We're reporting 3.
3, okay. So, there again, I mean, we're all heading in the right direction, okay?
Mayor, our previous meeting that you couldn't make, I was under the impression you had gotten some training that you wanted to talk to us about. Have you covered that with some of the things you've talked about, or is that something separate? Or maybe I'm totally wrong.
No, I went to some training in Chattanooga. It was good for me, and that was where I could meet with TDEC one-on-one. I also went to Nashville and had a meeting with all the folks from TDEC that are way up the food chain so that we can start understanding how we're perceived, what they think some strategies should be, and so there'll be more to follow. I will update some more of that as I work through some of that with Jeff. But there is more to follow, and it was good. I mean, I hate going back to class, right? I'm too old for a lot of that, but it was truly good to hear other people's stories and to know we're not just sitting here on an island. We're actually in pretty good shape compared to a lot, but we don't compare ourselves to others because we just do our own thing. But I'm just saying, you know, when I first came to office, look, I thought the sky was falling, the world was ending. All I'd heard about how terrible life was, yada, yada. And don't get me wrong, one overflow is bad, but I don't think we're going to get out of that business entirely. We will see it from time to time for different reasons. We had one at the park, and I know it's been a month or so ago, but something was lodged in the line. It wasn't even a rain event, okay? So something broke loose, went down the line, stopped it up. Jeff and his guys fixed it, and that's just all we're going to be doing. I think that was my biggest takeaway from everything is I don't care. We'll not solve this problem in a 4-year stint, an 8-year stint. It will something that we will continuously, it's like a living organism. We're going to continually work on it. So, which was good. It changed my perception of a lot of things, so.
Good. All right, thank you.
Last thing, and I'll quit.
Thank you, Mayor.
I did learn what self-imposed moratorium versus a state moratorium means as well. Thank you. For clarity, we are under a self-imposed one. But there are certain things we have to do in order to bring additional flow on, and we have all that information. Okay?
Very good, thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thanks
But I
for,
need anything from you, man.
thanks for being here, that's, very informative, and, I think it added a perspective that we might not always get from Jeff. Jeff's in the day-to-day, trying to fight the fires, and somebody looking broadly is a little bit more perspective.
I think it takes a little burden off, right? I mean, I think
Sure.
everybody's under a tremendous amount of pressure, based on a lot of things that are said and done and goes out. And some are true, some aren't, and
Right.
it's time just that, everybody just needs to understand we work on these things every day. We don't just come to work and say, you know, hey, we have a problem. No, Jeff's done a good job, so that's the other part of it. And Jennifer as well, right? She's done a good job in her area, so I mean, I think you got some good folks, at the helm, so.
Also, I would like to say that the crew of guys and females that we have, I mean, their help and their expertise has been invaluable to moving things forward as well. And we have a group of talented employees under our umbrella and look forward to making that even better as time goes on.
Jeff, before you get started on your director's report, you might just relate what you relayed to me about the efforts of some of our employees last night.
Yes, sir.
We had a service line break.
We had a service line break roughly 10, 11 o'clock at night. Could have been a little earlier, and they were out till after 3 this morning working in the weather. So, you know, this time of year is the time of the year that people in our profession hate. And it's a very, the electric department, when people go out of power, people ask for prayers for them. When the water goes out, we get cussed. So, just long story short, you know, the appreciation that I have for people in my department and other departments throughout this country that have to work during this season, it says a lot about them to have to go out, that they're willing to go out in this weather and do the job that they have to do in wet conditions.
All right, you want to do your
Yes, sir.
report?
So, I'll start off with, something good about I'll start off with, December 19th, we had a water and sewer department luncheon for all of the employees. Mr. Anderson, always bragged about his barbecue being the best in Manchester, and, he was not lying. The barbecue was gone within, it seems like, 10 minutes of him putting it out. So we look forward to you cooking again.
If I'm in town.
We're gonna make that a monthly thing.
But we had a huge spread of food. The majority of our department was in. Hate that the ones who could not make it, hate that y'all couldn't be there, but we will definitely do it again. We're making a monthly luncheon, for our department to just have us get together and have the camaraderie of us being together instead of it just going out on jobs. And I think that'll help. It helps improve the morale of our people and just shows, you know, that we can come together as a team and cook and just sit and enjoy each other for a time. So starting in water distribution, I know this is a pretty long list of things we have fixed, and I won't hit on every bit of it because it's self-explanatory. But we have replaced a 2-inch meter at 405 Park Tower Drive. We made a 2-inch water tap at 2800 Woodbury Highway. We have been conducting end-of-line flushing throughout our system to raise chlorine levels at dead ends throughout the water system. So one of the things that we have noticed, there are places that are end of lines that, I mean, at the time, they probably couldn't have been looped, but now being the way our water system is and the way lines have been extended out, there's a possibility in connecting some of these so that way we can make a loop system instead of having so many dead-end hydrants. And that's something that we're looking into as we move forward. We did a full service on one of our mini excavators on December 10th. The Water and Sewer Commission members, along with Alderman Anderson, did a walkthrough of the old water treatment plant and the wastewater plant. I'm sure that they did not like the condition of the old water treatment plant. It's a very hazardous building, and I actually have the report from Walford. I received that. I haven't had time to go through it because I got it here just a short time ago. I also have St. John's report, so I guess we'll be comparing or just trying to find the best route forward into how we tackle that problem. With the wastewater plant, there's a lot of things that we have done, a lot of problems that we have addressed. I would say, it's self-explanatory that with the problems that we have at the wastewater plant, that preventative maintenance goes a long way in keeping things from messing up. So I won't go through all the issues just for time constraints, but if anybody has any questions about any of this, you can feel free to ask Austin, myself, the wastewater team that's here as well. Any of us could provide answers for any of this if you would like any clarification. Going into the wastewater collection system, I will go through this. So December 4th, broken sewer main found between manholes B78 and B77. And also, again, this is from televising that we do daily. Mr. Greer and his crew are going out every day televising, and we're finding problems and fixing the ones that we can fix. And it's a time-consuming effort because our crews are tied up. We're having to fix water leaks, run water services, and do all the other jobs, and incorporate fixing sewer leaks at the same time. So what Mayor Hobbs was talking about, I'm trying to organize the department into a different way. The umbrella of organization, how it is now, we have we have 3 water and sewer crews that focus on everything. And I'll start with them. We have a distribution office that goes throughout and just handles water distribution problems and complaints. The sewer department, we have the operators and the chief plant operator, and we have 2 maintenance technicians and the maintenance manager. How I'm wanting to structure our department is I want to have a wastewater operations manager that oversees everything having to do with wastewater, including the collection system. And eventually, as time goes on and our department grows, I'd like to have, starting out, 1 wastewater crew that follows the camera and is dedicated solely to fixing problems as we encounter them, instead of having to wait on other issues with our other 3 crews. So that way, they're just solely dedicated to fixing wastewater problems. Having a wastewater operations manager will provide oversight over the entire scope of work with wastewater. It'll be more inclusive of the things that is needed in the wastewater plant, and I will be able to go to him or him or her, as well as that person come to me and talk about the problems that we have, instead of me having to interrupt the operators and the other people, the maintenance technicians' days, and trying to figure out the problems. So I have the job description in your packet, and it's something that y'all can go over. If there's anything, that you have questions about in that, feel free to ask. But back to the collection system, so, 12.5, sewer main joints are destroyed between manholes B77 and B67. 12.6, a crack was found in the sewer main from manhole B64 to B63. December 9th, a crushed sewer main from manhole B74 to B73. 12.9, sewer service needs to be replaced 60 feet from manhole B75.
Jeff, where is this location? All of these look like they're fairly close, B64 to B78.
Yes, sir, I should have put the locations on this, and I don't,
General areas kind of close to the park and fairgrounds,
Park and fairgrounds.
park fairgrounds, a little past Shelton's area.
so next time that I fill out a report, I'll put the streets, I'll put the nearest location.
Yeah,
instead of
just something to give us
manhole.
a general idea of where it's,
Or give us a map of the manhole.
yeah.
I can do that too.
That'd be a big map, though.
Yeah.
So, the vac truck was used on 2 stations in December of 2024, Relco Station, Great Lakes Cheese Station. The vac truck tubing fell apart during the process and had to be retrieved via man hoist. Overflows occurred at manhole A43, which is Spring Street Bridge. And then on sewer repairs, I have 3 of them that are not listed on your reports because I couldn't find the paperwork on them and I was able to find it. So 1241 Murfreesboro Highway, a sewer tap was replaced, on December 9th. And the reason it was replaced was because of infiltration from roots and I&I. 1183 Murfreesboro Highway, we had a crushed sewer pipe. It was 8-inch clay. It was replaced. At 165 Bear Lane Drive, we replaced 5 feet of 8-inch main. At 232 Rigney Drive, we replaced a broken bale where the pipe was bailed, on an 8-inch main. And at 1617 Hills Chapel Road, we replaced 6 foot of line that was broken. Again, all of this was found by televising. And I want to reiterate the importance of having the department structure changed to where we have a dedicated sewer crew, to where they can devote their time to going and fixing sewer issues. So, again, that's something that's important to me. I think it should be important to the city that we eventually branch our department out. I know funding and everything is tight at the moment, but eventually this needs to happen. Going through the sewer collection system projects, so today we had a pre-construction meeting with Dukes, and as Mayor Hobbs said, the estimated timeline is about 8 months. It's 6 to 8 months for completion, which the contract time is for 8 months. We will be having monthly meetings to go over the work that is being done and to answer questions and to hit on areas that need attention. One of the biggest issues that is going to be looked at the beginning is manholes that is covered up that we cannot find, more or less. The televising will be able to find that. As we move into spring, we will start smoke testing because the ground, there won't be as much water in the sewer mains. We'll be able to track the smoke testing better. All of this is anticipated. They want to start next Monday. And so we'll see how that goes, but the sooner we can get this moving, the better off we are. Excuse me. If anybody has anything they want to ask or anything, feel free.
Hey, did we ever get the stuff from the last folks that did?
No, sir. So liquidated damages is over $40,000 at the moment.
Approaching 40.
Mr. Carter, we had a conversation this morning. I think there's a hang-up with them feeling like they should not have to pay liquidated damages because they more or less have given some information, not all of it. The format is incorrect, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I believe that we hold their feet to the fire. Your contract said that you were to deliver this at the beginning of November. We're now 2 months past that and still we don't have what was promised to us. I believe we should move forward with, whenever their payment is finally processed, if we withhold whatever the liquidated damages are, I don't think we should cut them. In my opinion, they should have to pay for what they've not given us. I guess the flip side of that coin is if we want the stuff now or whatever, maybe they're expecting us to waive the liquidated damages. It could be that maybe they're wanting us to waive the liquidated damages and.
So we talked to them? I guess somebody's talking with them.
We've had conversations with them, yes.
Let's try to have one next week and get Craig, and let's just all get on the phone.
Yes, sir. So again, as Mayor Hobbs said, this cleaning, televising, and smoke testing will cover 304,678 feet. Also in the umbrella, I forgot to mention, so at the wastewater plant, in reorganizing our department, one of the things that Austin has had on him for a long time, or since I've been here, he's had to wear many hats because we don't have quite as many people. We need somebody dedicated solely to pre-treatment, which these job titles were passed at the BOMA meeting Tuesday night. So pre-treatment coordinator that just solely handles industry's pre-treatment programs. As that is, we will be delivering fines to Kasai and Great Lake Cheese for violations. Kasai's violation was for peak flow limits. Their fine is $3,000, which will be added to their bill. Fines for Great Lakes Cheese is to be determined. The violation was for late reporting for their DMR. They have a certain date that it's expected by, and they did not meet that deadline. Scheduled semi-annual pre-treatment inspections and sampling for the month of January of this year. We have scheduled semi-annual pre-treatment inspections and sampling for the month of January 2025 for all 4 significant industrial users. In the water billing office, we have hired 2 new customer service clerks. We have only actually hired 1. We have extended job offers to 2 others that did not work out for one reason or the other, but Miss Madison Resendez, she started roughly, it was the day before Christmas Eve, so December 23rd. And she seems to be doing really well. She's working at the window, so if you go pay your utility bill through the window, be sure to greet her. And I think that's all I have from my director.
All right, Jeff.
Sorry that took so long.
New business, as introduction of new officers, as you all know, we elected, officers last meeting. And you have, filled the assistant management, administrator with Kevin Rainey,
That's the asset management.
asset manager, yes. Kevin's been with us for a long time, so. And you have assistant director position you're interviewing
Yes, sir.
now.
We haven't currently interviewed anybody. I'm trying to allow some time for applicants. to
Okay,
have
still
time
taking
to-
applications?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We will be interviewing soon. I wanted to give it some time to make sure that if anybody is qualified, that they can apply and that we have a pool to choose from. But it is posted on the City of Manchester website. I shared it on LinkedIn. So if anybody's watching this and you're qualified, you're more than welcome to apply.
and you also have it with TAUD,
Yes, sir, it is on TAUD website as
so
well.
they, that's a good spot to
Yes, sir.
get new hires. Okay, you got some positions available, light equipment operators, a couple, meter reader.
Yes, sir. So
And,
these are unfilled positions from previous employees. I would like to post these positions. We're in need of a few more people, for one reason or the other. With the winter months approaching, we could use a couple of extra people on our crews. A meter reader position, which one of the meter readers is wanting to move to a crew to get experience, so that's why that position is available. If he moves to a crew, then I could use that, I could hire and move that person into any area that I may need. So I guess moving forward, we've already discussed in situ form.
Jeff, it just seems to me if they have that information or can develop it, they would get going with it and avoid this, liquidation damages charge.
Yes, sir.
Is there
So,
something you or Adam, or can anybody speak to that? They just don't wanna do it, or, cause this has been hanging around for a couple of months, and I know they knew.
So they have provided the video and the reports that go with each pipeline that they evaluated. But as part of that, they were to summarize all that in a report, put it in a modifiable spreadsheet, and color code it on a map, so that they make it into usable data.
Right.
And we don't have to spend weeks going through all this data, so that we know what to do with it. That's the part that we're lacking.
So they saying they don't owe us that, or?
No, it also has to be stamped by an engineer. So
Okay.
I don't know if they didn't consider that. It appears that they're having trouble getting an engineer to stamp it. But,
A PE, right?
yes,
Yeah.
but that's not all. I mean, they run into some technical issues that we had to help them through with the GIS as well. So, but some of that stuff should have been brought up, pretty early in the contract, not after they was already a month overdue. So,
Okay. Well, this may be something we have to redo.
well, I mean, I think we can use what we've got. It's just a matter of, it's gonna be a lot of effort on somebody and costly
Yeah.
to use what we've got.
All right. Okay, Jeff.
Number 6, wastewater operations manager position, which we have already discussed. Number 7, so we have discussed previously water extension for J. Sartain Road. It was previously approved by the commission and board. Coffee County is willing to lay pipe and pay for the water extension. I have questions, which I've been swamped, so I take the hit for not talking about this or discussing this with the county mayor sooner. I don't know, I tried to find if I had any kind of drawings from an engineer. I haven't discussed it with you, but I went through my stuff. I couldn't find any. If y'all have some for out there, I don't.
Sorry, I missed.
This is Miss Pugh.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, certainly. But we just had a very preliminary route drawing, that's about it.
So Commissioner Morris, I believe he came.
Yeah, Tim Martin.
Tim,
Yeah, he was here.
Yeah, I talked with him this week, and I think that we're still missing a couple pieces of the pie that we need to, I think we've all committed to doing the project. They're gonna buy the pipe, pay us to install it, and the owners were gonna pay you guys, I think, for the plans, is where I think that we've left it for right this moment. Because I know at one time they were wanting to do the work themselves, we couldn't let them do the work themselves, right? It has to be through us. And what you and I probably need to work on is some kind of a number, to say that's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay? But I'll reach out to Ms. Pugh and tell her she needs to work with you guys again. But I think everybody's ready to do it, we just don't know exactly what we're doing. Is that a fair, I mean, we know we want water, we know the pipe goes here, but we gotta have the rest of it, which is through them. to
The
tell us
engineering
what-
part of it.
Yeah, so,
And the inspection part of it.
Yeah.
We don't need to let folks just,
that'd be a project, right? I mean, I guess we'll have to do it just like every other, I mean, you
yeah.
can't. So. We've got a little work, but I did let Tim know that we're working on it.
Yes, sir. If I need to call the county mayor and discuss it, or,
Call Dennis, I mean, they're gonna pay for their intention is just to pay for the material.
yes, sir.
That's, and the question was, I guess you can come in from two different ways maybe, so that you're not trying to cross water.
You got two different pressure districts there
Yeah.
in the water, so it'll have to be broken at some point.
And I think probably what's best, Jeff, is, I know you're busy, but as you get a minute or so, kind of you and Adam walk through what's best for us to do this, you know, for money and for what we're trying to accomplish. And then let's give it back to them to say yes or no.
Yes, sir. I'll set up a meeting with Adam right after this. Number 8, customers using their own metering devices to fill up water tanks. So how it is now, some customers have their own metering devices. There's been accusations of theft, I've received pictures, I've received a lot of information. I think the best way to just end all of the phone calls and possibility of theft of water is if they want to fill up their tanks, they have to come rent a meter from us, which some people do. It's $875. I think customers having their own meters, it needs to come to an end because, I mean, who's to say that they take the dial off? I mean, there's ways you can manipulate things and we'll never know how much water. I've heard stories of people filling up tanks with the hose. They'll have the meter laying beside it. They'll fill their tank up, go water their grass, and that's part of our water loss. And we're not getting water for it. So from now on, if somebody, and we're gonna have to call every customer that has a meter and is a part of this and inform them that this is over. If you want to fill up your tanks, you gotta come rent a meter from us, pay a deposit, and that way we can monitor our outgoing water. And if I get a phone call and pictures of somebody filling up water, then we will proceed in prosecuting them. Because water theft is water theft. It's hard to, just with all the stuff that's been going on over the past few months that's been brought to my attention, I can't decipher if they're breaking the law or not from half the information I've received.
How many people or how many companies is on this list, do you think, that has meters?
I'm not sure. out, I can find that out.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, we need to get a letter put together so that we send them a letter, not just a phone call, so that
Yes, sir.
everybody can say they got the same information.
Should it come from Mr. Craig?
And tell him we need some kind of, I mean, if you're gonna do it that way, you just need to formally do it.
Yes, sir.
Jeff, what are the typical uses of somebody wanting to use a temporary meter
I mean.
besides construction? I know that.
Well, that's a good question. Most construction people most people here that have their meters are construction people.
Okay.
Where I was at previously, if you wanted to fill up your water tank, the only way you were able to do it is come get a meter from our department, pay the deposit, and then you were able to fill your tank up and you had to bring the meter back.
What about people filling up say a swimming pool?
Well, I mean,
Do they do that with just their garden hose?
yes.
Takes a while.
That, and then you pay sewer.
Yeah.
Well, we used to fill up.
Yeah,
with
but
sewer.
yeah.
And I think you get once a year or something, or.
Yeah.
Well, they tell you, we had a meter, they put on, filled it from fire hydrant, the department put the meter on it and knew how
filled it
much
up
to
with
bill
that.
them for.
Yeah.
I don't know how you've been handling it now, but that's, in the past, they've done that.
The fire department's not offering, that service anymore because evidently, I guess in a hose or something, somebody said we put something through our hose and messed up a liner. It's been a few
Yeah.
years back, so now the fire department will
No.
not. It's just through the garden hose.
I filled mine
Takes
up
3 days.
from the house, and then, so it's a 20,000 gallon pool,
Yeah.
subtract that off your,
Yeah. I mean, what,
yeah, I mean, that's,
Effort Group works with you, right?
Yeah, right. I
You just
mean,
gotta go
it's
tell
pretty
them if
simple.
you have that problem.
Don't wanna pay sewer on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
On doing this with the meter, can you make that decision, or does Bowman need to make that an ordinance?
It might need to be an ordinance.
If it-
I wouldn't say there's one today that says you can have a meter. I think it should just be a policy, but we can reach out and find out. from-
Well,
I think it could be a
if-
policy.
Okay, well, if it need to be an ordinance, then we need to
Yeah.
pass it.
I think you guys could pass this in here, and if we get any type of pushback, we'll go before the board.
Well, either way, we need to vote on it.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I think it can be a policy, but if you need it. The reason is, you don't have an ordinance today that says they're permitted to use their own meter. You don't have one that says come and get a meter. We probably don't even have a written policy, much less an ordinance.
Yeah, but
So I think we can cover our bases, as I said, with just this board, voting for a motion to allow this. So the chair will entertain a motion to allow metering devices to fill tanks, at a rental fee of $875.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, have a second.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
the 875 is just a deposit. When they bring the meter back,
Yeah.
you withhold how much the water charge is and then refund the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. And if they use more than $875 worth of water, they're gonna owe us some money.
And if they don't return the meter,
How much does the meter
Well,
cost?
yeah.
they're gonna be liable for the cost of the meter.
Yeah, well, how much is the cost of the meter?
I'd have to look.
I think about $1,000,
Yeah, roughly.
yeah.
I mean, if it's, generally deposits would cover the cost of
Yeah.
whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
If the meter's $1,000, the deposit ought to be
Well, we
$1,000.
we can change that to deposit to the cost of the meter.
Right.
$875 or the cost of the meter.
I mean, unless you can find one on Marketplace cheaper, then that's fine.
all right. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
All right. So next is, I received, my budget from Mr. Burrows yesterday, might have been this morning, and I didn't have time to go through it. One of the things that I need a work truck. I don't have one, and I mean, I'm not complaining, I've been driving my own truck, don't mind continuing, but, I would like, I know it's in our budget for work trucks, and I've been waiting towards the end of, been trying to wait as long as I can to make sure that we have enough money in our coffers before I start buying bigger items that could wait a little bit longer. So I put that on there. If the money is in there, I would like to, at some point, get me a work truck.
He should not be having to drive his personal truck.
Well,
Should not what?
He should not be having to drive his personal truck.
No, and if it's in the
Even,
budget,
even, I'm sure you're getting reimbursed
no,
mileage.
sir, I've not.
You're not even getting your
I've-
reimbursed
well,
mileage?
I've not asked for that, and I've not expected it.
That's,
That's a,
well, that could
That's a
actually be a
liability.
liability issue. He's on city business and personal vehicle.
yeah,
That needs to be addressed pretty
instead of
quick,
vice versa.
pretty quick.
and I don't think you need any approval from us, if it's in your budget
Well,
to buy trucks, backhoes,
go buy-
whatever,
buy a truck.
that's already been approved.
Yep.
I don't like this
I
idea of
just,
having come.
I wanted to wait towards the end.
Yeah, I understand that.
Before I bought one.
Yeah.
If you got it in your budget, do it.
He should be reimbursed at least for his mileage.
Um,
Which reminds me, I never have got my per diem check.
Miss Shannon said she sent it.
It's the way you filled out the form, Gary.
I didn't fill it out. I didn't get it.
Well,
It may be the mail, but I didn't get
I
it.
will
I
talk to
haven't
her
gotten it.
again. She told me 2 weeks
Something y'all
ago.
went to?
Yeah, we went to, Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg.
I know.
I got mine, but I did have
We're
to
just keeping his, right?
call, but we didn't know the real procedure. So I filled out my own paperwork, turned it in, and, then I had to call Jeff, and Jeff had to come and sign it. And, it still wasn't on the right form, so you gotta get the right form. And I found out later, you know, what she has done and what we've done in the past is, you get paid per diem before you ever leave Manchester. You know, you're paid for whatever that you're gonna get paid. So you don't have to keep up with your receipts for eating, which I had done all of that. And mileage, the mileage don't make a thing if you live way out in the county, you get paid from Manchester. And that's okay, I'm
I
not
wanna
complaining.
clarify something about me driving my personal truck. So me driving my personal truck is from there to here. If it has to do something with work, I will jump in one of the guys' trucks and ride
Okay.
with them.
Yeah.
But as far as me going on jobs and whatnot, I don't have.
You're not hauling pipe and
Yes, sir.
meters in the back of your
So,
truck. Okay,
clarify
okay.
that. And I've not had to go anywhere to any classes or anything in my own truck, which, again, mileage being reimbursed, I'm not worried about that.
I thought you were driving to work. Either way,
I just
you need
meant,
your own truck.
I meant, you
Yeah.
know, I want to be able to have my own truck to go to jobs. And
Sure.
the fleet of trucks we have right now, there's not currently a free truck for me to be able to do that. I have to ride with somebody.
So on that there, just go, state contract,
Yes, sir.
and just get the number, and we'll put it on in February.
Get your electric bicycle.
I'll take a Prius. Or a horse. So number 10, bid on a gate and fencing for our shop. It did not get awarded out. Southern Gate and Fence showed up today. It's roughly $5,000 to $6,000 to put a gate at our shop. And, he will have the quote to me, that was a ballpark, he said he will have the actual quote to me probably within a week. And, that is all.
Where are you putting the gate?
Yeah, what's,
So when you come, people have free reign to walk through the front door of our shop. And if nobody is at the desk, they have the ability to go anywhere in the facility that they want. This gate will be placed outside of the 2 existing gates, and it'll have an automatic, you know, to where it can be controlled and opened from the inside. Not only will it keep people from being able to access the plant or anything, it's safety-wise for my people. So when you round the curve and you come around, it's a tree, and then you have the turn off to where you go to the shop, or you can keep straight through the other gate and go to the plant. This gate's gonna be back further towards that tree.
So have an intercom to,
Yes, sir.
to have somebody open the gate?
We're
if
gonna
you-
move the intercom where it's at to further down to where they can contact the front desk.
Okay. All right. And you said about 5,000?
$5,000 to $6,000.
All right. Any further business that we need to do? Any commissioner have any comments?
Sorry this took so long.
Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Fail for lack of a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. We stand adjourned. We couldn't adjourn because they couldn't get a second.